Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. I'm really lucky to have a really world-class group of Suriname true Redtail Boas that I can breed from. And this has been kind of my bread and butter over the years as far as the type of boa that I work with. Probably about somewhere around a quarter of the snakes in my collection are Suriname Redtails. The vast majority are Holdbacks that I've grown up over the years. I did a video not too long ago where I showed you guys some of the Holdbacks, and I had some Surinames, but there's so many other really nice Surinames I have that I haven't shown in these videos. Today I thought I would do a video just of some of the Suriname Holdbacks, specifically ones that have rarely been in videos, or in some cases never been in videos, just to show you guys an example of some of the variety that I have. And this particular animal, this is a 2016 Holdback from my first Prometheus bloodline litter, which I ended up keeping quite a few of those animals, and they're now in breeding trials. This guy bred for the first time last year, had a really nice litter, and so this year hasn't been paired up yet. I've got his two brothers are paired up. They're also proven breeders who make these videos a lot more often, but I thought I'd show you him. You know, real nice boa, nice peak saddles, nice red tail, nice kind of wild look. You know, maybe he's not quite as nice as the other two, which is probably why I don't show him in my videos very often. But, you know, definitely a really nice boa. Not sure about this year. He may serve as a backup male. Sometimes I like to throw a second male in there to mix things up a bit, you know, stimulate the other male to breed. But we'll just see. It's just a really nice Holdback male Suriname from 2016 in my collection. Prometheus sired one additional litter in 2017 with a different female from the mother of the animal I just showed you, and this is one of the babies from that particular litter. I actually showed the sister of this one in my latest Holdback video a few weeks ago. Got a lot of positive comments, so I thought I wanted to show you her sibling, which is this one. And so this is a 2017 born Prometheus bloodline female. Quite a different look from the other ones. You can see she's got this really nice pinkish, reddish, purplish side. Her saddles are kind of differently shaped. You know, they kind of have this irregular peaking, but they have these little dots in the middle, which is kind of unusual. I've seen this a lot in my Venezuelan redtails. They'll have that dot. And interestingly, I haven't seen it in any of my other Surinames, so maybe there's a gene in there that she picked up that causes her to have this. She's a little bit on the smaller side. I'd say she's maybe about 4.5 feet or so. Just has been a kind of a slow grower. You know, fed her the same regimen as my other boas. In some cases even fed her extra to try to make up for it. But some of these animals, they just grow at a much slower rate and they don't get as big. So we'll have to see how big she gets. But I would expect that it's probably going to be at least 2 more years before this one has reached breeding size. Maybe even longer. But just a really nice, different looking Suriname from the Prometheus bloodline, a 2017 Holdback. Moving forward to 2018, I just had a small litter of Surinames that year. This is the only one that I held back. She's actually in shed right now. You know, figures there's always at least one boa that's in shed every time I try to make a video. She's a little frisky also, so I'll, you know, put her back quickly. But just a really nice peaked animal, long red tail. Kind of a similar look to the first male I showed you, so maybe I'll pair her up with him, you know, when she's ready in a few years. But she's reached that age where she's starting to look a lot more square, a lot more like a loaf of bread. You know, and when true red tails reach kind of a sub-adult, young adult age, they have that much more square, muscular look. So she's developing really nicely, and, you know, hopefully will make a real nice breeder a couple of years from now. Next we have some boas from 2020. I didn't have any Surinames born in 2019, but this was the first year where I had second generation babies born. You know, captive babies from captive babies that were born here, you know, so grandchildren of the original founders. This is from the Picasso bloodline. This one was sired by Picasso himself and an unrelated female. I think she's actually in shed right now, or she's looking a little dark. But just a really nice looking boa. Nice blocky, peaky saddles, nice color. I'd say she's probably about 2.5 feet or so. So these animals right now are feeding on large adult mice or small rats, but just doing really well. And of course they've got a few more years ahead of them till they reach breeding size, but doing quite well. Just a nice example of a true red tail born here in 2020. Lastly, I want to show you guys a couple Suriname Holdbacks from 2021. And so this one is from the Prometheus bloodline. She's a litter mate of an animal I show a lot that I call Pink Floyd. Thought I'd show you her because I always show her brother and not this one. And of course she's in shed. You can see she's even got that cloudy eye, so her colors are not at their brightest today. But you can see just a really nice example of a red-tailed boa. Nice blocky peak saddles, kind of a wildish look. And you can see this one is about the same size as the 2020 baby I just showed you. So this particular litter just grew fast for whatever reason. The other litter from 2020 just grew slower. They started off smaller and they grew a little slower. You know, they just all grow at different rates. So I know a lot of people are obsessed about their boa's growth rate, but it's not really something to worry about. You know, just feed them appropriately. Don't overfeed them, don't underfeed them. They should grow slowly but steadily, and you know, you don't have to obsess about their exact size at any given point in time. But just a nice boa. You know, not quite as jaw-dropping as her brother, who was kind of one of these standouts from the litter as far as a holdback, but definitely a nice solid example of a Suriname true red tail. Finally, we have one more holdback from 2021. So this is an animal from a different bloodline from the animal I just showed you. So this female was actually sired by Picasso. He's from my Picasso bloodline. But I crossed her with an animal that I got from Matthew Blackburn. It came from Fudo, crossed with a wild-caught parent. So this particular animal is, you know, 25% Fudo, 25% from the wild-caught, and then 50% from the Picasso bloodline. But the reason why I held her back is she just really has this Fudo look. And, you know, Bob Fudo was a really well established and really well respected breeder of very high quality Suriname true red tails. And to me, his best example is just have these really clean, crisp peak saddles, like this one does. And this particular animal, you know, even though she's only 25% from the Fudo bloodline, she just really has that look to me. You know, and I always like to have a variety in the looks of the boas. So I decided to hold this female back. You can see she's a little bit smaller than the animals from the female I just showed you. You know, same age, but just a different bloodline. They just grow a little bit differently, and that's fine. She'll just might take a little bit longer to reach breeding size, but doing real well so far. And I just love these really clean, crisp saddles that, you know, to me it looks like the Fudo look. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the look at these Surinames. I'm really looking forward to watching them develop over the next few years and enter into breeding trials. Got some really great projects going, you know, for the years ahead. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them below. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your boas.